I also wanted to show some insights on stretching. Stretching is one of the best tools for staying in shape, for elongating the muscles and strengthening them. For stretching, you want to practice the joint areas, the areas that bend the most, and practice flexing them in specific directions. Let's go ahead and begin with what we should always do before stretching, and that is a quick warm-up. You don't want to stretch cold. One of the things I like to do would be 50 jumping jacks, 2, 3, 4. If you're doing it in the morning, you don't want to elongate your jumping jack and make it real straight. Like, you don't want to tighten up too much in the beginning. It's just a relaxed moving of the arms, moving of the legs, and making sure that you're kind of straight in how you land, since you're doing the jumping jacks. I notice I use the balls of my foot a lot as I take off the ground and come back on the ground. It cradles me, so it's less jarring, less of an impact. So do the warm-up exercise, and let's start from the ground. I start in the central position. The central position would be called the pike in gymnastics. I'm going to point the toes. When stretching, you always want to focus on elongating the body parts in different directions. You're going to reach down, touch the toes, and you're going to want to pull as far beyond the toes as possible. Then hold it for a few breaths. Now, you need to be able to control your breath to maximize your efforts on the stretch. One of the stretching techniques is to focus on the inhale and the exhale. Take a few breaths and count those inhales. Once again, centralizing that breath in the center or in the stomach. Now, to elongate the stretch, you want to maximize or push beyond your boundaries on the exhale. So you're inhaling, you're exhaling, and then on one of those exhales that you feel comfortable, elongate the stretch. Etc. So on that exhale, you're going to push the stretch a little bit farther. I see some people that jerk it. I've always felt it could maximize it too far, like breaking a rubber band. So for me to be more in control and at this controlled level, yes, it's going to be the slow breathing, the slow stretches. You don't want to jump into it. That can push the muscle too far and hurt yourself quickly. At more advanced levels, that's how they make it into a trick, is that they're immediately able to jump into those more advanced levels. One other thing I wanted to show you about the pike, which is important, is we're practicing with the toes forward. Also practice with the toes back. This stretches the calf and the Achilles heel right here, that tendon. And this is an excellent stretch. You can feel it almost right away. Once again, it's reaching past those where your toes are. And once again, the toes are maximized. The toes are bent back as far as they can be as the form of the stretch. The knees are straight, and then do your best with your back. My back's always been not as limber as my legs and arms, but do your best. It's one of the things about stretching is to get better at it. We're all at our own unique levels. Then we'll go ahead and do what's called the straddle splits, gymnastics. Do as much as you can. Legs are feeling kind of tight right now. This is actually the one that I've hurt myself the most on, pulling groin tendons. So I've learned not to hurt myself more than I need to, not to stretch. Because this leg's pretty tight right now, but once again, follow the procedures. And there's another thing you should focus on with the straddle splits. Which way you want to angle your point, like twisting the leg at the joint here. Pulling it all the way to the outside and doing that stretch. Pulling it all the way to the inside and doing that stretch. Give you different abilities, which is always what you want to practice if you're in that position. Toes back. So I practice one side. You want to count to 10, 20 breaths, 5 if you're hurting in that area. In the center, the other side. When you do the center, do as much as you can. They say to reach as far as you can with your fingertips. You can even crawl a little bit to maximize your distance on that one. Let's go ahead and practice some of the leg stretches, the runner's stretch. I'm going to go ahead and keep this leg straight, focus on that one first. Have it straight in front of me. Straighten out this leg. Focus on the toes again. Straightening it out and lean into it. Straighten the back. This is similar to yoga also. Some of the techniques I like in yoga more are the ones that help you stretch. So just practicing stretching techniques is a form of yoga, especially when practicing the breathing. Most of the martial arts do focus on breathing, knowing when to time it. Feels pretty good. Feel myself starting to loosen up. So if you have a short and quick workout, what that does is it enables you to spend that time that you need on a daily basis stretching or exercising, whatever the case may be. This one is going to be grabbing. You can interlock your fingers or you can grab either wrist. You can grab both wrists. But I'm just going to go ahead and interlock my fingers. This seems to be the more relaxed way, and lift up. Has a more even feel on the wrists. And then straighten out the chin, lifting it up, and lifting the arms back. Okay. These are real common, so perhaps you've seen them before. This one's going to be pushing the elbow into your shoulder. Push the elbow into the shoulder, and keep that arm straight. Keep that arm straight. Keep the hand straight. Go into the horse position if you like. I stretch out of it in a release. Bring the other side over. And push the elbow to the shoulder. And release. We're going to reach the arm behind the back. Now, a lot of these are focused on preparing you for more advanced tricks, like the splits. That's really good for doing it on 2 chairs and juggling or doing some other circus trick. Pulling down. This one is a reach down as far as you can. And hold it for those 10 seconds. And I'm pulling on the elbow to the other direction. We're going to do it to the other side. Pull on that elbow to the other direction and reach down. Then we're going to go the other way, reaching up the back. I'm focused on trying to keep my hand in the center of my back. If you're better at it, you can even lean it over to the other side of the back. Then try to touch if you can, just to complete the exercise. That's a good arm stretch. For handstands, we want to focus on stretching the wrists. I put my hands together and try to straighten out my arms, and then you can even push it farther down. You don't want to go too far, feel your boundaries. And then I go the other direction, practice both directions. You can also do that technique on the ground. I press the back of my hand and alternate, switch directions and alternate. Other direction. Both sides. Okay?